Alright, guys, it's all ready. 9 minutes outside of the hour of 10 o'clock. Of course, you're listening to a Carry FM, the genuine sound of Dominica, your carnival station. Of course, we now invite you to stay tuned as we go across to Andrea Lewis for a Carnival Wive behind the crown. Her guest is one of the queen contestants for Miss Dominica 2023 on Flow TV, channel 953. All our frequencies on 107.9, 93.1, 107.9, and 88.7. We're also live on Facebook, live streaming. Over to you, Andrea. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Selector Urban, and good morning to you as well. Hello to all those who are listening to Kyrie FM. Hello to all those who are watching on Facebook Live and also on Flow Channel 953. Welcome, and we thank you for your time, for spending this time with us. Now, we have a special program, Kanaval Wive, where we are featuring so many aspects of Dominica's carnival. And everybody knows one of the major events is the Miss Dominica pageant. That is scheduled for February 2023. However, before that, we're going to talk to the contestants. So we have contestant number 2 with us today. She is Moesha Thomas. Moesha, hello, how are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm feeling okay. Good morning, Dominica. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, I gave a superficial introduction. You're contestant number 2. But tell us more about you. Who is Moesha Thomas?
I am 22-year-old Moesha Thomas from the village of Petit Soufrière. I am not quite a social butterfly, but I am a ball of energy once I get comfortable. I want you to get to know me. I go through life on the values, patience, accountability, humility, and most importantly, gratitude. In my free time, I love to read. I'm a compa music fanatic. I love track. I spent a few years of my life competing regionally. I enjoy indoors. I'm a bit of an introvert. I love my own space, but I also love to hike. I love the outdoors as well.
Okay.
Yes, I love to find out new things, to explore. Personally, I am more of a, how would I say that? I would go on to say that when you meet me, you'd find out that I am very passionate about things related to women. As a woman myself, I have grown, I have experienced things, and that is why on the 16th of February, I will be vying for the title on the platform Empowering Women Through Sports.
Okay, amazing. Now, as you mentioned your platform, we must delve more into it. Why, through sports, are you choosing to empower women?
Oftentimes, when we speak about the benefits of sports, we focus on the career options that is available for sports. So, an individual can become a strength and conditioning coach, a sports nutritionist, a sports psychologist, an athlete, but we tend to forget the mental aspect of it, the values that sports can implement in an individual. I have experienced it, and I know that sports can bring confidence, self-reliance, resilience, determination in an individual. And we're in a world where we're moving towards gender equality, where women are making steps towards gender equality. And although here on Ireland we have made great moves in that. Currently, there are 9 women, elected women in the government, and also women are now lawyers and doctors, in important careers. However, we are not only planning to stay here, we're preparing ourselves for the world at large. And so these qualities that I mentioned that sports implements can prepare a young woman to take on the world, to take on various careers, to take on trials, because when you know that you are determined, when you have experience, determination, when you have will, when you are confident in yourself, regardless of what comes, you are going for your goals. And that is something that I want to encourage.
You spoke a short while ago about equality and equity between men and women. You mentioned the number of women in the cabinet, and you spoke of women being lawyers and doctors and so on and so forth. As regards the sporting sector in Dominica, how do you feel women perform in that sector, and do you feel there are equal chances made available to them through sports?
I am very proud of the progress that we have made, that Dominican women have made. Currently, there is Thea Lafont, which is doing so well for us. Trenice Hamilton as well. These are two for sure I have to mention. Also, there are women that have already made their marks, sportswomen that have made their marks. I work alongside a coach, but she participates in football. She represents us regionally, and she has done so well as well. My chaperone, Mrs. Regina Walsh, also has a part in sports. She's popular in the netball, in netball, right? Yes. And so we are making steps towards that. We have planted, women are doing well in Dominica. Do we have a long way to go? We do. I do believe that there are a number of opportunities that can be made available to women. Normally, worldwide, we are seeing that sports benefits women. Sports benefits are individuals, really. You can decide to go into sports and make a career out of it, make a life out of it. On island, I believe that we should be having more events, more sporting events, especially for women, and also find higher cash prizes or provide more scholarships, as these are incentives to encourage women, to participate, and young women, girls, those going to school, to participate in sports.
Okay. Speaking of going to school, while you were going to school to now, would you say you have seen the number of women in sporting events increase over time?
It's not something that I found the statistics on, but just looking from the outside, it's not as much as when I participated.
Oh, really?
It's still one athlete representing regionally. We still do not have a female relay team going to the CARICOM games, right? And that is something that I look forward to, that I want to happen for us. And so just from that information, I would say that the participation needs to increase. We need to do more for the participation to increase. And from where we've come from, I believe that we should be much further in sports as women.
Okay. And if you were to win the Miss Dominica title, how do you use that title to advocate for your platform? For example, what would you say to young girls to get them more involved in sports?
Well, it's a small plan, but it's a start. I believe that with or without the title, really, it is something that someone needs to do. To invite successful sportswomen, those who have gone through it, experience what it takes to be a successful sportswoman, to speak to young women, to go to the schools, to advocate for sports, to speak to women about what it is that you're going to go through, how difficult it is to become a successful sportswoman, because it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of determination. And so when you hear that from someone who has gone through the experience, someone who has been through all of that and still turned out successful, who has a career now in sports, it does a lot more for you. It makes you enthusiastic to try it out yourself, because you know this is step one, this is step two. It might not work out the first time, that's for sure, but eventually, if you keep trying, it's possible. And also, in terms of what to do to invite a larger number of people, of women, to participate in sports, I mentioned the higher cash prizes for competitions and more scholarship opportunities, because these are incentives. As a developing country, it is important to tap into all areas of potential growth. And if we make sports a big thing, a bigger thing than it is, because we are making progress in Dominica, that's for sure. If we make it a bigger thing and we have more sporting events, higher cash prizes, more scholarships, more young women will be interested in taking part in sporting events, would not only focus on the academics, but they'll say, okay, there's a chance for me there. I could also go into sports. I could also give sports some of my time, because there's a chance there as well. And so these two things, if we bring in more incentives, if we encourage them, then there would be a larger number of athletes. From my point of view, the 7 years that I spent representing my country regionally was life-changing for me. I enjoyed the experience. I met a lot of empowered women, strong women, kind women, and that is important when you represent your country, because you are out there with other women who are going to compete. I dealt with a fear of competition.
Oh, really?
Yes. So in preparations to leave my country, oftentimes it would be, am I going to do well, even with all the training? And so for the women out there, for the female athletes out there who are still not so sure of their capabilities, who know that they could become very successful athletes, but are concerned about whether or not they are going to succeed and put that personal pressure on themselves to always do well, I can say from my point of view that letting that fear sink in before your competition is not going to do you any good. Because once you let that doubt settle, then you've already made up your mind that someone else is going to beat you, even though you know that you have done a lot of work, even though you have prepared before. And so it is important. That is one piece of advice I want to leave with them. You train, of course, hard work, but you prepare yourself mentally for your losses, for your wins, and for your progress.
All about the mindset.
Yes.
All right, so we know you're definitely a sports enthusiast. Now let's take a turn now and look at the education or the educator in you. Tell us about your job, what it is that you do and why it's so important to you.
I teach French and physical education at the Orion Academy.
No surprise there, physical education.
Yes, I love my job. I do. Teaching challenges you. It does. There's some days you go to work and you plan. You always plan to go for what you're going to do for the day. And when you get there, your students are energetic. They're ready to go sometimes. So you have to change your plan. Maybe today is not a great day to teach grammar, but a great day to teach role playing, or what would it be like if you're at an airport and you've lost your luggage, something like that, because that's what French entails. And then other days you come in and they're tired. You don't have their attention, for sure. And so it was a good day to look at some French videos, introduce them to how quickly people speak, how it's natural, because it's sort of different, the formal French that they're learning compared to what some that French people speak in their conversational French, right? And so the physical education aspect, I am lucky that I teach two creative, active languages. It's always fun for me. My students, they make teaching them more of a hobby than a job. Okay. It's easy most of the time because they look forward to being outside. They look forward to being active and playing sports. And even when they are done with outside and we have a French class, it's interactive, so means what do they eat, what is that like, so when can we take a trip, because I want to try that in that country. It's I love it. Yes.
Now we understand your love for sports based on what we spoke about just a while ago, but your love for French, where does that come from? How did you fall in love with French?
It was not something that developed over time. I never realized that I loved the language. I did French all through high school. Yes. I did it at CXC level. And going into college, I wanted to do, initially my plan was to complete an associate degree in physics and geography.
Wow.
Right, that's a totally different path. Right. But when I signed my paper, when I chose my subject, I went with French because I knew that I wanted to go into sports. I wanted to stick to sport. I wanted to be an educator of that, a coach. And what if, though, I told myself that you could study that in a French country? So now you have the information. You can do it in English for sure. You can bring back that knowledge to your country, but you also have the French aspect of it. So that opens doors to so many new opportunities because of a new language and learning that in a new language.
That sounds amazing. How long have you been a teacher?
This is my 5th year. This is September, sorry.
We'll make it 5 years.
Yes, we'll make it 5 years.
All right. Now, we know that normally as teachers, you impart knowledge on your children, on your students. However, in your 5 years or almost 5 years, what would you say you have learned from your students?
So many things, really. Yes, so many things. One of the most important things, though, I believe, is that one of my students mentioned that okay, they keep saying, Miss, can we have a free period? You know, it's a common thing. Miss, can you have a free period? And I would say, you know, if okay, so that's what we're going to do. If we can complete that today, then tomorrow we can have some downtime, you know, with an activity. What I realize is that life on a whole is a give and take. So it's a give and take. And so if I had simply said no free periods, then we would have spent some time going, but Miss, we did that and then we did that, you know. But when you meet them halfway, you always meet them halfway. And when you think about education, of course, it's a lot of learning, it's in the classroom and so on. But if you can make that creative, the students, that this generation loves social media. Yes, they love their devices. And so whatever it is that you are given, whatever, and I take that aspect with me through life, whatever you are given, whatever situation you have to deal with, it's a give and take. You have to find out what you're dealing with and then use the resources that you have and figure it out, meet it halfway, whatever you are dealing with when it comes.
That's very profound. And coming from children, that goes to show you they know so much and they can teach adults on a daily basis.
Yes.
I guess now is a good time to remind those who are listening and viewing that this is Kanaval Wive on Carry FM. Thank you for listening on all the frequencies and for watching on Facebook Live and Flow, channel 953. We are talking to contestant number 2, Miss Moesha Thomas from Petit Soufriere. If you want to call and make a contribution, you can do so on 448-7337 and 448-7339. Now let's talk about the competition. How are you feeling for how are preparations coming on for that?
Hectic.
For the Miss Dominica pageant. Hectic.
It's hectic because there's so many things to do. However, right now I'm tidying up.
Okay, and right now we have a phone call. That's fine. Good morning. Welcome to Kanaval Wive on Carry FM.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, good morning. I'm just calling on behalf of Moesha.
Morning.
Hi, my name is Regina Walsh.
Hi, Mrs. Walsh.
Good morning.
I am Moesha's chaperone. I just want to congratulate her and hoping on February 16th that Petit Soufriere will be the place to flourish. Although we know what happened during the month of November, but I know she is a force to reckon with. And congratulations, Moesha. I know you love that platform, Women in Sports. We know that we have to stop saying that the male gender are always superior, but that situation has changed over the course of time. And nowadays, female athletes can participate in every athletic competition. So, Moesha, go for it. And I am your mentor as well, and I will be your support.
Thank you, Mrs.
Miss
Walsh.
Walsh, before you go, what is it like working with Moesha, preparing her for the Miss Dominica pageant?
Well, when I got to know Moesha was one of the contestants, as a matter of fact, I was introduced to Moesha by Rosilia Regis, a teacher at the Orion Academy, while doing some cultural work for them during the month of November. And when I asked her, where are you really from? And she says, Petit Soufriere. I said, but who in Petit Soufriere is your family? And she said, the Newtons. I said, but I'm a Newton. So right about now, she had to stick with me because if I can do it for other people, I can do it for her. And I think Moesha is well on her way to doing good things.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Walsh.
You're most welcome. All the best.
All right, so your chaperone is your family.
Yes.
What is it like for you working with Mrs. Walsh?
I'm not sure if I should compare my experience to the other chaperones, seeing as they're not related. No, I'm speaking about how close the relationship is. But it feels I'm more comfortable. Okay. I'm not sure if I would be the same way for another chaperone, but I'm very comfortable. And she's such a great help. You know, when you're vying for the title of Miss Dominica, it takes a lot. There's so many things, the tidbits, the preparations for the actual show. And sometimes you may feel that there's so much to do and so little time. But Mrs. Walsh, she she handles things, you know, and I think also because of our relationship, of our family background, that she does extra for me, and I appreciate that. I do. She's one of my biggest supporters, for sure. It's a constant reminder that you can, especially know that there's nerves, there's always nerves, that you can do it for sure. You're going for that, you know why you're doing this. And so I love that we're related, although I've recently met her. It's not something I've known her for so many years. That was not the case. I was introduced to her when I decided to vie for Miss Dominique for the title. But she's someone who makes you feel very comfortable very quickly. So we just fell into place.
That sounds amazing. Just a reminder to the listeners, numbers to call, 448-7337 and 448-7339. You were saying that preparations are hectic. What is so hectic about preparing for this competition?
There are a number of things that you have to do, that's for sure.
Okay, one of the things you have to do is take a phone call as well. You know, after this, we'll get into the hecticness of the competition, I promise. Good morning, you're on to Kanaval Wive on Karaoke FM. How are you?
Good morning. Hello?
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, Moisha. This is Andrew. This is Moisha's immediate family. I just want to tell her congratulations and thank you for taking the time out to represent our small village, City Sufria. So we just want to wish her all the best. And coming from the family, we love her and we'll be there to give you our full support.
Thank you.
Can you give us your name?
My name is Angie. Angie, Moisha's immediate cousin.
Angie, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and before we take another phone call, competition preparations are hectic, you're saying?
Yes. There are so many things to do. It feels as though there's not enough hours in the day sometimes. You are putting your all into preparations for each round. I'm not thinking that I'm going to succeed here and maybe catch on in the other round. No, I am trying to be ready for all of them. And so to perfect every turn, every topic, you need to give it time. And with work, you know, your day is taken over because you work. However, in the afternoon, this afternoon is short. It's very short.
Yes.
And so to go from work to your personal practice, to all of the things that you need to do, it takes a lot. In that form, it's hectic. However, now I'm tidying up things, you know. I've had some time to set up my foundations, to get myself comfortable. Now we just, all of you know exactly where we need to fix, and we're just fixing that now.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now you are performing as contestant number 2. How does it feel to be the second one on stage for every round of the competition, for swimwear, for evening wear, for question and answer number 2? How does that position feel?
Honestly, it's not, I've never thought about it as, you know, your turn is coming next. It's a matter of, I know on the night of the show, I have to go on the show, on the stage regardless of what number I am. And so it's just a matter of contestant number 1 has presented what she has to present, and now it's my turn, you know?
Okay, and it's also your turn to take another phone call. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Okay, good morning. Sorry.
Good morning, Momo. That's Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Dudu. How are you?
I'm okay.
You know we love you very much. I want to congratulate you. And that in the night of that show, you go and you put your best foot forward. I know you will make us proud. Bye, Momo. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay, bye-bye.
you, Momo's mommy, for calling. You have so much support coming from Petite Soufriere.
Yes.
That is amazing. Speaking of Petite Soufriere, do you feel pressure to perform well? I'm asking because I know that you have had, or the community has had a great track record recently. So in 2019, Madame Wab went to Petite Soufriere. In 2022, just last year, first runner-up for Miss Wab went to Petite Soufriere. So do you feel pressure to bring home the crown to Petite Soufriere?
The pressure that I am feeling is more so a personal pressure.
Oh.
I have set high standards for myself, and I want to ensure that on the night of the show, I make myself proud. Really, there's going to be pressure always in every aspect of life, but you cannot let the pressure dictate how you, because for someone like me who really, I'm nervous for sure. I'm nervous before an interview or so on, but that's me. And when I get comfortable, I'm ready to go. With that personal pressure, I cannot add to that the pressure of the past winners. I'm very proud of the people who have gone out and done us so well in Philippe Soufriere. Reassurance to my community is that I am putting my best foot forward. I'm working as hard as I can. And on the night of the show, I'm going to do my absolute best. I'm hoping, of course, that we will leave the show with the crown. But all of the other young ladies are also very intelligent, beautiful, well-spoken women. So at the end of the night, it is a matter of wherever it goes, we will be, we go on, that's it.
I completely understand. Speaking of the night of the show, which round are you looking forward to the most?
I think I'm looking forward to the costume round.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And why is that?
Yes. From the design, I'm looking forward to wearing that and executing it for sure. But also, I think that's around with the less pressure. You come out and you move with your costume, everyone sees it. But the others are so much more work, to be honest. So much more preparation goes into the other rounds.
Okay, and we'll get into that after we get this phone call. Kanaval Wive on Carrier FM, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Andrea.
Hi.
Good morning, darling. Oh, it's so nice hearing you on radio again. Oh, morning.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm listening to you. Good morning, young lady. Well spoken. Good morning, young lady.
Good morning to you.
Okay, well spoken. And you look like you look nice. You're not shy. You're nothing. You speak well.
You.
Okay, keep it up and congratulations. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much for calling.
Brave man, like I am ready. That's how you look and you speak. Oh, good. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, Andrea.
Thank you, Vado.
Okay, love you.
Enjoy your day.
Okay, darling. Bye.
All right, so the costume round you're looking forward to the most, you just get to go out and dance to the music and showcase your costume. Which round are you looking forward to the least?
I don't think there's a round I'm not looking forward to.
Okay.
I'm preparing. I am tidying things up. I'm almost ready. So on the night of the show, I'll be looking forward to every round, especially the costume round. But I'm ready for each of them.
Okay, that's a great answer. And if you were to win the title of Miss Dominica 2023, what does your career path look like from there? Especially because you'll be winning a scholarship. What do you hope to pursue should you win that scholarship?
Seeing as so far I'm only the holder of an associate degree in French, I would like to complete my bachelor's in sports and physical education.
Okay, nice. And do you have a school in mind already?
No, I do not.
Okay, but you know what you want to do?
For sure.
Great. All right, you are tuned in to Kanaval Wive on Carrier FM and also on Flow channel 953 and of course Facebook Live. If you want to call and make a contribution or ask a question, you can do so on 448-7377 and 448-7337. My apologies. And 448-7339. We have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Bless up to the world. Good
Hello,
morning.
good morning.
Touching base. Good morning, Fireman Touching Base. Great program, and I'm listening. Now, Princess Isayo, you're a great empress. You can speak out, you're bold, and you're beautiful. So it's looking like, I don't want you alone to be like that, you know. How many of you are in the competition? You there with me?
Five contestants in the competition this year.
Competition, right? So I'd love to see the whole five of us looking up and running in living colors and banging, because a good competition, our country going to look great. But really and truly, now I talk about sports, and I love that. You know why I love that? There are a lot of young girls, really and truly, in spite of the education background whatsoever, I feel they really, really need to be more involved in the sports department. And a great lady from the country, from the island, in other words, just called her, which is Mrs. Regina Ward, which is a lady that loves her sports and she loves what she's doing. So really and truly, I don't know if she's in pension, but we need to put her back in action, because people like that need to be in them schools to educate certain of them children and young girls. You find that making sense? Why do making sense?
You make a lot of sense.
Thank you very much. Now that sister that I talk about this sports, and I love that, because I have during the cricket 10, the T10 really and truly, it had two women cricket teams. Now it have two captains. But I know both of them really and truly. But I realized that I have one doing security job. And I'm saying I don't have money, but if I had money, then people there I want to put them to do no kind of security job. As I say again, I would put them to the schools where they could elevate and help them children because they love what they're doing. And that could encourage them children to be better because right now, our country, or even the Caribbean, going in a whole direction, and children don't even know where they're going, what they're heading for. And you need to know your purpose and your value. That's why I love that Empress Adia. She's a great Empress, and I feel we have some great people in our country. I could say a million things, but Princess, I love your energy. You're looking like you might become, but when you win, give me something because I'm supporting you. Up and running, fireman running, great program. Give thanks for life.
Thank you so much for calling, and I assure you Mrs. Walsh is listening.
Definitely. And, you know, he echoed your exact same sentiments.
Yes.
So, you know, you have support of Dominicans for the power of sports among women and what it can do for women. A reminder to call if you'd like to, 448-7337 and 448-7339. Now, something I really want to touch on with you is you are from the community of Petit Soufriere. And we know that, as Mrs. Wall said, last year, November was a tough time for you because of the trough system and all that damage it caused to the earth. Based on your experience, how important would you say it is that Dominica becomes a climate resilient country or becomes more climate resilient or implements measures to increase its climate resilience?
Let's take it all the way back to Tropical Storm Erica.
2015, yes.
And then to Hurricane Maria. And recently, as you said, to the trough system which devastated my community. I am hoping that is not something that we're going to see in other communities, but again, it is a possibility. And so it is very, very important
that we take a phone call.
Caller, good morning. You're on to Kanaval Wive on Carrier FM. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I would like to congratulate my niece, Moisha Thomas. This is coming from her aunt, Lucy, and we love you very much, Momo. Just go for it, and we're there with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moisha's auntie. Tell the rest of the family to call and send their commendations for Moisha. Okay, so climate change. Petit Soufriere.
Yes. So I mentioned the events that happened, the incidents that happened. And I said that it's also very important that we advocate for climate change, that we advocate for awareness of climate change.
Right.
I believe that with what has happened, as I said, there is a possibility of that happening in other communities, but we are hopeful that it does not. To begin, it is important to host training sessions in communities to advise community members or the general public and prepare them for what to do in the event of another disaster. Right? But not only that, I would like to also commend the government on their work with the resilient housing projects, the completion of a number of resilient housing projects.
We're going to pause for a very short while, take another phone call. This is Kanaval Wive on Carrier FM. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from Guadeloupe. I'm a Dominican. I'm living in Guadeloupe.
Okay. Hello there.
Yeah, I like to tell the 5 contestants that are going up for Miss.
Okay.
So just do what they have to do and promote Dominica. And that she said something there about sports. It is very interesting because there are a lot of children who can go through and who can play sports in Dominica, and then they can even reach far with their sports, because I have a young daughter who is 12 years and she's in a club in Guadeloupe. She's playing netball, she's playing basketball, and she's very good at that. That is a very, very interesting topic that she's speaking about, the sports. And darling, may God bless you and may God give you the courage to go through. When you see the crowd, don't be afraid. Just go for it, my darling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
You have safe Dominicans. No matter where you go, Dominicans will be always there for you. Have a blessed day, be safe, and also your sponsor, whoever sponsoring you, may God bless them.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much for calling. And to others who are watching and listening and would like to make a contribution, you can do so by calling 448-7337 and 448-7339. Now, before that call, you're talking about the interventions by government on raising awareness in your community. about the effects of climate change and how to combat them. You can, yes, you can continue on that line of thought.
You're right. I wanted to commend the government for their works in the resilient housing projects that they have completed so far, and also in the improvement of shelter capacity. Sorry.
That's fine, that's fine.
Improvements of shelter capacity. Of course, we have a long way to go still. We need to not only build resilient housing, but also resilient infrastructure. So ensure that our communities are safe as possible. And overall, well, I believe that when the general public knows what to do in the event of a disaster, when they are told of the possibilities, because a lot of people still do not understand how serious climate change is. You know, we're experiencing these incidents, these events, and we're trying our best to do our part as well. But there are if we do not pay close attention and we do not do what we need to do right now, then the future is going to be much worse than it is now. So we really need to put some pressure on the awareness and advocating for awareness of climate change.
Definitely. Now, you're on a platform that reaches people all over the world. So for those who are listening, not just in Dominica, but those listening the world over, even for those who don't believe climate change is a thing, what would you say to them to let them know, yo, this is serious, we have to take action?
I advise you to use our country, really, as an example. Pitsufra has always been home, and although I was not in the area during the disaster, when I went back home, it was shocking and it was disheartening to see the damage and the change. It's no longer the same community that I grew up in. Things are changing, and there is a possibility that could happen somewhere else in a different country. The world itself is changing. A number of ministers, political leaders are speaking about climate change. This in itself shows the seriousness of that. So it's about time that we ourselves take action.
Okay. And this I have to ask, it's been 2+ months since the November 6th trough. How is Petit Soufriere doing?
Still quiet, so very quiet and peaceful. I don't want to say that we are rebuilding. Really, it was a lot of well, it was mostly landslides, and also a gentleman lost his life.
Unfortunately, so.
Unfortunately, that brought a change in our community as well. But we are a resilient country, of course, and so we are going to push forward regardless of what we are hit with.
Of course, definitely. What are your thoughts on the relocation talks for residents of Petit Soufriere?
It is a permanent solution. It is. As long as we are being relocated, of course, to a better
more safe area.
More safe area. It is going to be a change for the people of Petit Soufriere, because from my childhood, I am used to, my mother is a homemaker and she loves her agriculture, and so I know how to harvest root crops, and I'm an outdoor child. In Petit Soufriere, there's a lot of space between homes, so everyone has their own space to move around, to plant their produce and so on. To completely relocate, that's the young people coming up now is not going to go to know the Petit Soufriere that we knew. But if we're moving as a community, seeing as relocation is one of the best solutions for that, to simply move as a community, to know that we are moving the same values with the same teachings, the same traditions, then I think we will be okay. In terms of what we pass on to the younger people, and simply reminiscing on what we knew. And that in itself will ensure that although we're not in the same community, the people, we're going to be together as a people growing.
Of course, home is where the heart is.
For sure.
Of course. Just a reminder to those who are listening and watching, you can call on 448-7337 and 448-7339 to make a contribution. So Marisha, we're going to wrap up shortly, but before we do, I need to hear from you. You're one of the contestants who isn't fully sponsored just yet.
Yes.
Speaking to our corporate citizens, our corporate community, why should they invest in you? Why should they sponsor you? What would you tell them? Why?
Generally, the Miss Dominica pageant is a development program. It provides a platform for young women to speak about issues that affect our country. There are other young women speaking about mental health, which is very important. And here I am speaking about empowering women through sports. And for the businesses, the business owners, the business who are listening, you are hearing that the people are calling in and also very interested in the promotion of sports on island. To invest in me would be saying that I am taking a step towards promoting sports, towards building a better Dominica, and that in itself should be an encouragement to come on board.
Definitely. And what has it been like working with the other young ladies vying for the title? What is the camaraderie like? What is your relationship like? Do all of you get along? What is it?
We do, and I am very lucky to have that. I look forward to our Tuesday and Wednesday sessions.
Okay.
I do. There is a peaceful atmosphere, positive energy. There is something that I like to say before we try anything new. It's no pressure. You know, just do what we have to do, no pressure. And I love that I am going into any event, or the show itself, knowing that although on the night there can only be one winner, at least when you're leaving backstage, there's that positivity. There's that air. Go out there and do your absolute best. That we all want to see each other succeed. No, I don't want to see anybody fall short. It's let's go out there together. Let's do our absolute best. And that is the same energy that I'm receiving. So I love that. Yes.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. One more reminder: 448-7337 and 448-7339. That's the last reminder, because the last thing I'd like you to do as we wrap up is speak to the people, all who are watching, so we know Philly Surfer is going to be there in like massive numbers, hands down, no question about that. But if those who are contemplating, should I not, tell those who are listening and watching why they should go to the Miss Dominica pageant on 16th February 2023.
On the 16th of February, it's going to be an event that you do not want to miss. From spending time with these ladies, it's going to be a show. We are all prepared, we're all getting ready, and it's something that not only is it going to be fun and exciting, I know we are looking forward to seeing the costumes, and we're looking forward to hearing the talents or seeing the talents, but also the question and answer round brings a lot of new information. You're getting to know new things. And where else would you want to be on the 16th of February? To the people of Petit Soufrière, to Dominica. Although there might not be a participant from your area, at the end of the show, one young lady is going to represent our country. So it's important to come out to show your support.
Okay, Mauricia, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I have to say a huge thank you to Selector Urban. Thank you for accommodating the phone calls. And thank you as well to the tech team for making things happen so smoothly. We appreciate you so much. And to management and those who are high up to make this possible. So thank you again to listeners and viewers to Kyrie's Kanaval Wive. Join us next time. And until then, stay tuned.
All crops I grow, killing it slow. As an entrepreneur, those losses I could not bear. Got a visit from the Minister of Agriculture.